Dear students, welcome to my 8th lecture of Principles of Electronic Communication. In this lecture, we are going to see the electromagnetic spectrum. In a last lecture, we have cleared the concept of frequency and wavelength, and in this lecture, we are going to see the ranges of different frequencies. Those can be utilized for variety of the applications, especially for electronics communication. So, in this lecture, we are going to focus only on electromagnetic spectrum. Now, before going in detail of the electromagnetic spectrum, you first understand what are the basic properties or basics fundamental of electromagnetic waves. So, you can see in the first statement here, electromagnetic waves consist of both electric and magnetic fields. So, these waves are electric also, and these waves are magnetic also. They have both the waveforms properties, that they are electric properties also and they have magnetic properties also. That's why their name is electromagnetic waves. As per second statement is concerned, information signal. Information signal means the signal which we would like to transmit to the longer distances. It is also called as modulating signal, and it is also called as baseband signal. For example, while talking, if my speech is going to be converted by mic kind of the device, then you can say that the electrical signal which is converted by mic is called as an information signal in electronics world, or in electronics vocabulary you can use that information signal or baseband signal or modulating signal. This word we are using for information signal. So that information signal should be converted into electromagnetic signal before transmission. So as our speech signal or whatever the picture we take from our camera, it cannot directly transmit. First we need to convert it into baseband signal like electrical signal, and then that electrical signal is converted into electromagnetic signal, because property of the electromagnetic waves is that they can travel longer distances, kilometers, thousands of the kilometers they can travel without much affecting the information signal. Information signal affects, obviously it affects due to the environmental conditions or noise. We have seen the types of the noise in the previous sessions, but the property of the electromagnetic waves is that it can transmit to the longer distances. That's why in electronics communication, these waves play vital role for propagating our information signals. Third is, electromagnetic waves can transmit through air. This is important. Those can transmit through the air. That's why we can also use a proper word, that is in wireless transmission, as electromagnetic waves can transmit to the longer distances without wire, means we can transmit it using wireless transmission medium, you can say in that way. Next is, electromagnetic waves are sinusoidal in nature. This is quite important. They are sinusoidal in the nature. Now one thing is important here, that sinusoidal means it is having alternating nature, means cosine waveform also comes under sinusoidal waveform. Pure sine waveform also comes under sinusoidal waveform. Sinusoidal nature means for particular time it is having highest amplitude, and after some time it is having lowest amplitude. So that is in sinusoidal alternating nature. After some time again it reaches to the highest point. After some time it again reaches to the negative side or minimum amplitude, that is called as a sinusoid. And as all the waveforms having attributes of voltage, wavelength, frequency, phase, so out of that one attribute, that is their unit of frequency, is hertz. So hertz is utilized to represent our frequencies range. So what is the range of that frequency? Those frequencies comes under the electromagnetic spectrum. Those ranges from 30 hertz to the 750 terahertz. So this much range our electromagnetic waves have. Now here you can see very beautiful picture of spectrum. So this is called as a spectrum. Why it is called as a spectrum? Because it is having its minimum wavelength or minimum frequency range to the minimum wavelength or maximum frequency range. Now here, as I have used the word maximum for wavelength but minimum for frequency, and here I have used the word minimum for wavelength and maximum for frequency. So if you concentrate over here, this is 100 megameter. 100 megameter. Using our formula, that is wavelength is equal to speed of the light divided by frequency, you can easily convert this megameter into the frequency. So this 100 megameter is equal to 3 hertz. So this is 3 hertz. Using the formula, you can easily convert megameter wave length into the hertz. So rather you can prefer to use hertz for representing one of the frequency in the spectrum, or rather you can use megameter or kilometer or meter or centimeter or millimeter, micrometer, nanometer kind of the ranges for representing our spectrum. In few applications we can quote, for example, we quote for fourth generation mobile networks, we quote millimeter waveforms or short waveforms. So short waveform means they are trying to represent the spectrum's frequency in terms of wavelength or spectrum in terms of wavelength. But when you are talking about the frequency, then you can refer from 3 hertz to the terahertz like this. Or in the previous slide here, 330 hertz of the frequency is also there, up to the 750 terahertz of the frequency is also there. So this is the minimum frequency and maximum wavelength. So you can see here audio is representing for these two ranges, means those ranges from 100 megameter to the 100 kilometer. So 100 kilometer can be in you can say 3 kilohertz of the range. So from 3 hertz to the 3 kilohertz of the range is given to the audio in our electromagnetic spectrum. So this is called as an application. If our human system, if we are considering our human system, then humans speak into this band or human listens to this band, audio band. Human can speak to this band. Okay. And if you are considering the musical instruments, if they are playing and you can listen to that, so it is up to the 20 kilohertz of the frequency is given to that band. So in audio, speech band also covers and audio band also covers. So this is about the audio band. So up to the 30 kilohertz means 100 kilometer or 30 kilohertz, this band is given to the audio. As per this radio is concerned, see 1 meter is given, 1 meter. 1 meter means 300 megahertz. Up to the 300 megahertz of the frequencies can be given for the radio applications. So you can we can say that from 300 megahertz to suppose 100 kilohertz of the frequency can be given for the broadcasting purpose. Like in amplitude modulation broadcasting, the radio frequencies for broadcasting our signal in the radio band are ranges from 450 kilohertz to the 1.5 megahertz. But in the frequency modulation means FM bands like Radio Mirchi, Radio Vishwas or 93.5 FM, for those radio channels it ranges from 88 megahertz to the 108 megahertz. So you can say that up to this band 100 centimeter of the wavelength, up to 100 centimeter of the wavelength is given to the RF waveforms, especially for the radio broadcasting. Now you have heard about the microwave ovens also, or you have heard about some microwave devices. Those can be used in a communication. In kitchens you use microwave ovens. So those devices having some kind of the frequencies or some kind of the wavelength. So this is the range for them. It is in between 300 megahertz and it is 1 millimeter means 300 megahertz. Up to the 300 megahertz of the wavelength is given to microwave ovens. Now as per far infrared, near infrared is concerned, these ranges from 10 micrometers to the 1000 micrometers of the range. As per visible light is concerned, visible light comes under 1 micrometer of the range. 1 micrometer of the range. In that 1 micrometer of the range, you can see this band is zoom into variety of the spectrums like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So these are the lights or the colors you can see, and those colors also have some frequency, or those colors also identify using the nanometers of the range or micrometers of the range. 1 micrometer of the range is given to these colors. So this also comes under the frequency spectrum. Now as per X-rays are concerned, those come into this range 10 raised to minus 1 nanometer to 10 nanometers of the range. X-rays comes, and gamma rays comes for very high frequency ranges, that is 10 raised to minus 2 nanometers to the 10 raised to minus 6 nanometers of the range. Gamma rays comes under. So from 100 megameters means thousands of the kilometers to the 10 raised to minus 6 nanometer. For this much spectrum, you can have variety of the applications related to the audio, related to the low frequency, related to the medium frequency, high frequency, very high frequency or ultra high frequency, and beyond that you have some visible light, ultraviolet light, X-rays and gamma rays. So each and every frequency or each and every wavelength has its own applications. For example, this particular band is for only broadcasting of the radio signals like Radio Mirchi. This is for microwave ovens. This is for optical fiber communication, ultraviolet. This is for optical fiber communication. Near infrared, far infrared is for point to point communication. You can use this. And X-rays can be used in the medical applications to take the X-rays of our bone, of our body, to detect some antibodies, or you can say kidney stone kind of the diseases. We can prefer to use X-rays. Gamma rays also has its own variety of the applications. So this is the complete spectrum. As per their application is concerned, here you can, in the kilometers of the range, we have radio waveforms or radio stations. This is the one application. Or you can use tape records which is having antenna inbuilt. They can use as a radio receivers. So this is one application. If it is in centimeter wave length, then microwave oven is one of the good application. For 0.01 millimeter, this is very good application that you can detect the uh, different perspective of our aeroplane. So and this is infrared radiation. This is also one device where you can detect the internal of a particular uh, human body, or you can detect something which is inside the solid object. Visible light comes under this zero point 0.5 micrometers using the camera or visible light through the bulb. Next range is zero point 0.1 micrometer. So the radiation coming from sun, or the light which is coming from some such kind of the light sources, that comes under this zero point 0.1 micrometer. Or the radiation coming from planets, the radiation coming from far stars comes under this zero point 0.1 micrometer radiation. This is the application of X-rays, where these rays can be utilized to detect some diseases related to the bones or kidney stone. It is in the range of 1 nanometer. As per gamma rays is concerned, these rays comes from very critical or catastrophic explosions, like a nuclear explosion, or which is coming from some uh, geographic issues like volcanoes, comes under this range 0.01 nanometer. So you can see here 1 kilometer of the wavelength is referred as an low frequency, and 0.01 nanometer range comes under or referred as an high frequencies. Also, that is called as a long waveform because it is in kilometers, and it is also treated as a short waveform because it is in nanometers. Okay. So here we can also have some applications where we consider frequency on the x-axis, that is 10 hertz or 100 hertz or 10 kilohertz or megahertz, 100 megahertz, likewise. So for the extremely low frequencies, means up to the 50 hertz, extremely low frequencies for 50 hertz for example. So you can see these are the poles, electric poles. Through these poles we can receive electricity at our homes. So you might aware about the frequencies which are coming at our home, that is in 50 hertz, 230 volts. So that 50 hertz comes under the extremely low frequencies. That's why it is in between 100 to 10 hertz. Very low frequency comes under this 10 kilohertz. Now here you can see this is a keyboard and it is connected to the computer. So these keyboards keys are operating at kilohertz of the frequencies, 10 kilohertz of the frequencies. This is radio waves and short waves. Here you can see that antenna is shown, and that antenna is connected to our television. So that comes under the range of 1 megahertz to the 100 megahertz, or up to the 1000 megahertz this television can operate. Here mobile devices are there in between 500 mega, above that 500 megahertz, 800 megahertz, 900 megahertz to the 2 gigahertz of the range our mobile phones operate. As per microwaves are concerned and satellite communication is concerned, it ranges from 10 raised to 8 hertz to the 10 raised to 12 hertz, means up to the terahertz. 1 gigahertz to the 1 terahertz of the application comes under the satellite. As per sun radiation is concerned, those comes under the infrared radiation, those comes under the 10 raised to 12 hertz to the 10 raised to 14 hertz, means 1 terahertz to the 100 terahertz comes under the infrared. As per visible light is concerned, it comes in between 100 terahertz to the 10,000 terahertz. So this is the range. As per ultraviolet radiations are concerned, those comes under 10 raised to 16 hertz to 10 raised to 18 hertz. X-rays comes under the range 10 raised to 19 hertz, 10 raised to 21 hertz. And as per gamma rays are concerned, those comes under 10 raised to 22 hertz to 10 raised to 26 hertz. So these range from 10 hertz to the 10 raised to 16 hertz, that is called as an non-ionizing radiation. But the radiation or spectrum ranges from 10 raised to 16 hertz to the 10 raised to 26 hertz or beyond, that is called as an ionizing radiation. So in your syllabus you have only variety of the ranges in a frequency, and you have their respective applications, and you should know the basics about the spectrum. So this is all about this topic, that is the electromagnetic spectrum. And once you know about the properties of the electromagnetic waves, then its range in terms of the frequency as well as in terms of the wavelength, and simultaneously if you know about its application, then this topic is quite easy. Throughout the in a world of electronic communication, you come across this spectrum, because when electronic communication comes, obviously electromagnetic waves comes into the picture, and that's why these waves are having prime importance. So all electronic communication is possible only because of these electromagnetic waveforms. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. After concluding this session, I conclude the unit number 1, and here we have completed our unit number 1 with the fundamentals of the electronics communication. Then we have seen the basic block diagram of electronic communication, how transmitter works, what is the role of channel, how receiver works. Then we have seen the simplex transmitter, duplex transmitter, half duplex transmitter, full duplex transmitters. Then synchronization, asynchronization we have seen. So, and the concept of the frequency, concept of the wavelength we have seen, and lastly we have seen the electromagnetic spectrum. So this is the scope of the unit number 1. This is very simple unit, but it covers a lot of fundamental concepts of communication. In the rest of the units, we will going to see the more advanced communication techniques, those actually utilized to convert our information signal into the electrical signal, which is going to be utilized to transmit to the longer distances. So we will start unit number 2 in the next session. Thank you.